No.
And we're back for part 4.
Of our origin story. I don't really remember where we left off.
We were talking about the you being a photographer, and I was going to have to
Oh,
be willing
right.
to be a subject of photography, and I don't like having my picture taken. But I agreed because what she didn't know is I'm a photographer too, and I actually love photography. So I decided, okay, I can sit and have a picture taken.
So since it was his birthday, I said we're gonna have a birthday portrait of you, and he actually like sat in a chair, sat tall, and posed for his portrait, and like it's to me it's a really great photo, not because it's technically a good photo, but it was like the first promise that he fulfilled to me. I don't know. You may think that's corny, but like so for that reason, you'll probably never see the photo because it's that special to me. I know. Oh, right. I know. But yeah, that's the truth. Anyway, he posed for the picture. I gave him his gifts because I got him a couple of gifts, like practical gifts or whatever. And then we were on our way to our first date. First stop, because by this time the time had gotten away from us.
Yeah, and it was later than we
So
thought. So
yeah, so the
we were going
plan
to
that
do
I
dinner first,
right.
and then go to a place that she knew that made this really good a grocery store. Grocery store bakeries is off the chain, but it was a grocery store out in the sticks somewhere that made this really good sour cream pound cake. It
It's
was sour
a
cream pound cake, right?
yeah, it's a Mennonite market
Yeah.
in Harleysville, Pennsylvania called Hennings, and they make this really good sour cream. No, buttercream. No,
I thought it was sour cream
yeah,
pound cake.
sour cream pound cake with
Yeah.
buttercream icing.
Yes.
And it's the most simple, delicious thing you've ever had in your life. And since he really loved cake, I
Yeah.
was like, you need to have this cake or
So
whatever.
cake was going to be afterwards, but we decided to go to Harleysville first and get the cake
Because
first
it was so far.
because it was like a 40-minute drive or something
Yeah.
like that. So we decided to do that first, which I had no objection to because I could just eat cake as a meal and then have cake as dessert.
So we drove to Harleysville, Pennsylvania. I know you all wouldn't have done that, but it was nice for us to be in a car with each other for that long because we got to continue the conversations we had
Yes.
been having.
Yes.
And again, it was just like it was on the phone. There weren't any lulls in the conversation. It was like rich conversation, and we listened to music and we kind of wait, did we sing that day? No, that was the
No,
next
we
day.
what we did, we listened. I forget what song came on, but it was I mentioned to her it was some kind of diss song, and I mentioned to her about the beef that was behind it. It was a hip hop beef. I don't remember what it was at the time. I don't know if that was Nas and Jay-Z at that point or somebody
I'm not
else.
sure what it was.
But we got into this whole discussion about all the different hip hop beefs and how they started and what they
No,
involved.
babe, that
and
was
stuff.
the next day.
That was the next day.
That was our second date.
Oh man, that was getting all jumbled up.
I know. Listen, it's been 6
Either way,
years, guy.
we had great conversation.
We had a
That's
great
all I'm saying.
conversation.
Yeah.
We get to Harleysville, Pennsylvania. We get the cake or whatever. And now this is the first time I'm pulling out my credit card or debit card or whatever to pay, right? Because again, he agreed to let me foot the bill for his birthday celebration. And I could just see his body language like tense up, like he was not happy. But again, he had already agreed like for this to happen. So
That was difficult.
yeah, because he's a gentleman. He really is.
Difficult.
But he let me pay it. And I just kind of glanced at him, like I gave him the side. I like,
Because you don't have my card ready.
I know, but whatever. He was, but he let me do it because that's what he agreed to. Anyway, so in Hennings Market, they have like this little eating area, like a cafe kind of thing. It's really one of the nicer markets. It's, I didn't take him someplace corny, but
I
anyway.
guess you could think of it almost like a Wegmans. If you're familiar
Yeah,
with Wegmans,
yeah.
it was similar to Wegmans.
Right. So we went in there and there were like these people who were in there and they were like in the middle of eating or whatever because they have like prepared foods and stuff like that. And they were, of a lighter hue. They were not brown like us.
Yes.
And we find a table and we sit down. These people picked up their stuff and left.
And they were not finished.
And they were not finished.
They looked at us and just got up and was like, "Okay, it's time for us to be out." And it really made us feel some kind of way.
We looked at each other like, did that
wow,
just
did
happen? Like, was that
in the
my
year of our
imagination?
Lord 2019? Did that just happen?
It happened.
Wow.
It happened.
So we had the whole cafe to ourselves.
Yeah. And then we,
Enjoyed our cake.
we enjoyed our cake
Yes.
because we're grown. We could have cake before a
There you
meal,
go.
right?
There you go.
Had our cake and had enjoyed more conversation. We we were gonna go for dinner. I was gonna take him to this restaurant in Center City or Old City, Philly, called the Khyber Pass Pub. If you've never been there, go there. But they have this. It's like a New Orleans kind of flair-ish kind of place, but they serve this popcorn with bacon renderings. Bacon renderings are bacon grease.
So fancy. Bacon renderings.
That's what they call it. Bacon
renderings.
It's bacon grease. Now, it's not the kind of thing that you can have every day or you shouldn't have it every day, but once in your life, you need this popcorn with
Bacon grease.
bacon grease or whatever.
Grease.
And so
Excuse me. Renderings.
it was a fun kind of thing. And I was like, wow, maybe I should, take him there. So that's where I was going to take him. But again, the hour was getting late and I was getting hungry. So I was like, well, there's a restaurant near well, not far from where I live, an upper scale Chinese restaurant. Well, why don't we go there? And we went there to eat, blah, blah, blah. It was great. And then he took me back home and, he came in, whatever. And we talked and talked and talked. And, while we were in the restaurant, he said he had to run some errands the next day. I forget what he had to do, but he had to run errands, but he wanted to see me too. He said, would you like to come with me to run my errands? And I was like, oh my gosh. Now I had a photo shoot the next day that had been canceled or rescheduled. So I was free. So I was like, yeah. I didn't answer very quickly because I didn't want to appear to be thirsty. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I eventually said, yes, I would like to hang out with you. And anyway, so he left at like 1 a.m. or something like that. Came back the next day to pick me up. And we hung out for the whole day. I think you came to get me at like noon or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But we hung out for the whole day and it was the best time.
Yeah,
was it the best time?
We went to IKEA.
He had to go to IKEA,
Target. I think, did we go to Chick-fil-A?
I know we mad at Target right now, but
did we go to this was 2019, y'all. Yeah. Don't come at us. Don't come for us. 2019. This was before all the DEI foolishness.
Yeah.
Did we go to Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, and then we went to Chick-fil-A.
Because it was Saturday.
It was Saturday.
I want to make sure I went on a Saturday.
Right, so we went to Chick-fil-A. And anyway, we spent the whole day together. I always wanted a man who could actually teach me something, just enlighten me or whatever. He did that by way of teaching me about the rap battles and the beefs from back in the day. I wasn't cool enough to know about any of that stuff, right? But he told me about the origin of the beefs, especially the Boogie Down Production stuff and KRS-One and MC Shan. I was just like, wow. The whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, I never knew.
Roxanne and Shantae.
Wow. Yeah, it was a really good time. And what it was kind of like a prelude to what our life became together. It just mimicked what we do now. On any given Saturday afternoon, we could be out running errands or whatever, and we're laughing and joking and, singing at the top of, I sing at the top of my lungs. He doesn't really sing at the top of his lungs.
If I'm by myself, I will go full throat, with a song, but she'll never hear that. Nobody will ever hear it.
It's because I giggle when he sings.
Yes.
Right after we got married, he took me to this church to meet one of his mentors that he had from back in the day. And he was singing, they were singing a congregational hymn. And I think it was leaning on the everlasting arms or whatever. And it was the first.
Yeah.
And he has this
Lean,
really. He didn't sing with it.
No, I didn't.
He has this really deep, melodic baritone voice, and all I could do was giggle. And he was like, "Why are you laughing?" But I was just so happy. I was like, "Lord, do you know I love hymns?" And now I have this man who's singing these hymns or whatever. Anyway, guys, Prep 5 is coming up. Really, it's going to end at some point. All right, we back.